Hello everybody, welcome back to Tiger Tales, a place where you can find fanfiction written and then read to you by me, your host, Tai Tiger. All fanfiction on this channel does not breach copyright and does not infringe upon the original content. Welcome back to Power Rangers Future Foundation, where in the last chapter we had the big bad come and wipe our Rangers to the floor, and we also find out their way of making monsters grow. And that's where we left off the last one. So let's dive in to Power Rangers Future Foundation, Chapter 9, All Things That Grow, Part 2. Dante hid behind one of the abandoned cars. The in-space Pink Ranger demorphed and hid with Dante. "What's your name, kid?" Dante asked. "It's Amy, and I'm 15, the girl snapped. Dante? Unfair. I'm only 20 myself, Dante shrugged. "So what are we going to do? We ain't got Zords," Amy asked. "I dunno, and Chloe and Luke are out of action for at least a day," Dante sighed. "So how did you manage to get the Mighty Morphin powers?" Amy asked. "They were given to me by the Morphing Master. Unlike you stole that morpher," Dante snapped. "Actually, I was playing around with it when Bolts for Brains over there broke in and I hid. When he left, I ran, forgetting I had the morpher on. That's when I met the Morphing Master," Amy snapped back. "You met him too?" Dante asked with shock. "Yeah, he told me great evil has arrived here and I gotta help," Amy told them. "Yeah, he told Luke and Chloe that too," Dante said. Gear Tech 7 was still shooting at buildings and causing mass destruction. "What are you going to do now, Rangers?" Gear Tech 7 roared. His voice boomed through the whole city. Suddenly, a quick light erupted from Dante's pocket. Dante then pulled out his morpher. "Looks like I'm back in action," Dante grinned. Dante and Amy both climbed out from their hiding spots and started running down the empty road till they ran into Service once again. "You again," Amy called out. "I'll have you both destroyed," Service growled. "How was he able to morph again?" Amy asked. "Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that part out," Dante muttered. Service stood there holding the Z-staff. "I got this," Amy grinned. "Yo, you're not fighting him alone," Dante growled. "Okay, fine," Amy said as she rolled her eyes. "It's morphin' time," Dante called out. He held out his morpher with both hands and the buckle opened. "Macedon!" he yelled. Amy held out one hand and held her morpher out. "Let's rock it, yo!" Amy called. In a flash, Service was now in front of the Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. "Come on," he said to Amy. "Yeah, I'm doing it." She flipped open her morpher and pressed 3, 3, 5. Now, with a pink flash, Service was stood in front of the Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and the in-space Pink Ranger. The Black Ranger ran at the Red Ranger and attacked him head-on with his axe. Service blocked with a Z-staff and spun around and kicked him in the chest, sending him flying back. The Pink Ranger grabbed the Z-staff with both hands and kicked Service into a car. She then ducked as Service swung the Z-staff at the Pink Ranger. She dodged the attack and punched Service in the chest and then punched him in the waist. Her fist collided with his morpher and suddenly his suit glitched, kind of like static. The Pink Ranger stood there stunned. Service growled and jabbed the Pink Ranger with a big Z into her chest, knocking her back. The Black Ranger caught the Pink Ranger as she fell back. "You see that?" the Pink Ranger asked. "Yeah, it glitched." "Follow my lead," the Black Ranger ordered. The Black Ranger grabbed his axe, then started swinging at Service, rapidly with no accuracy. As Service started stepping back, blocking each strike with the Z-staff, the Pink Ranger jumped up in the air with her satellite stunner and pulled the trigger. The pink rings flew at Service. The Black Ranger backflipped out of the splash zone as the pink energy rings rained down. Service dropped to one knee as sparks flew off him. The Black Ranger then ran at Service and pinned him to a car. He then swung his axe, hitting Service's morpher. The morpher exploded, sending the Black Ranger flying backwards, and the Red Ranger demorphed, leaving Service on one knee, still holding his Z-staff. Gear Tech 7, do it!" Service screamed. The Black Ranger and Pink Ranger regrouped and watched as the giant robot turned to face the Rangers. He aimed his big rifle and pulled the trigger. Giant lasers rained down on the two Rangers. They both dodged the first few shots, but were eventually hit. Both Rangers dropped to the floor and demorphed. Dante and Amy both climbed to their feet very slowly. "You okay, dude?" Amy asked. "Yeah, I think so," David grunted. Service held out his power coin, which was now slightly cracked. "You ruined it," Service growled. "Yeah, you shouldn't be wielding the power of a ranger anyway," Dante roared. "Next time I will stop you," Service muttered. He held out his hand and a small group of putties teleported in. "Deal with them, then watch your city be destroyed," Service told them. Then he teleported away. Dante and Amy dropped into their fighting stances, ready to fight the putties, when suddenly a strange, unique tune filled the air. "What's that noise?" Amy asked. I don't know," Dante grunted. Both of them were confused. Then Dante's communicator went off. "What's up, CJ?" Dante asked. "Okay, first off, the Rangers are safe. They teleported in, don't worry. Second of all, huge surge of energy build-up. It started the second that flute noise happened, and it traces with morphing grid energy," CJ told him. That's when Dante saw him. A man stood there on a building. He had a sandy brown poncho-like cloak on, with a hood, and the man was stood there playing a small black flute knife. There, up there, it's that guy," Dante pointed. "One of yours?" Amy asked. "Nope, I've never seen him," Dante replied. "Dante, there's a huge amount of energy coming straight into your direction," CJ said through the communicator. Suddenly, 3 huge animal machines came running through the clouds. One of them was a panda bear, one was a cheetah, and one was an alligator. "CJ, I see it, the energy you're reading. It's Zords. 3 of them. They came from the clouds," Dante told his communicator. "Okay, I'm running the energy diagnostics and comparing it to other Zords from other teams, and so far the only match I've got is Wild Zords," CJ told him. "Wild Zords? That's crazy," Amy blurted. The 3 Zords ran at Gear Tech 7. The cheetah dived at the machine, slashing him with its claws. The panda opened its mouth and fired a huge energy beam, which hit the Gear Tech 7 directly in the chest. Then the alligator Zord bit the machine on the shoulder. Then the man with the black flute knife called out to the 3 Zords. "Wild Zords, combine!" he called out.
Hey there, podcast listener. You enjoying what you're listening to? Well then, do I got a special treat for you. Storytime with Cosplay Dude 637. That's me. I'm your host. And I like to tell you stories. Stories that I personally enjoy. So, buckle up, get comfortable, because we're going on a wild ride.
Dante and Amy stood there in shock as they watched the alligator's back legs expanding, becoming humanoid legs, the front legs tucking inward, then the head of the alligator folded down to the chest, revealing a Megazord head. The panda and cheetah's Zords folded their legs in, the panda's back folded outward, becoming a shoulder guard. The 2 Zords connected to the alligator, becoming arms, the head opening to revealing its face. "Predazord, Panda Cheetah formation," the man called out. Suddenly the Megazord attacked Gear Tech 7. Throwing its panda fist, it hit the monster, directly in the chest. Then it threw its cheetah fist, uppercutting the monster. The monster fell over, but quickly recovered to its feet. Then the Predazord stood there, all 3 animal mouths opened, the 3 huge energy beams fired at Gear Tech 7. The machine got hit with the 3 lasers, he fell back, then the monster exploded with a massive shockwave. Gear Tech 7 was no more. The man then dashed forward, landing by Dante and Amy. Dante and Amy looked as the man then turned to the group of putties that had been stood there watching this entire time. "Stand back," the man told them. Dante looked at Amy, rather confused. "Crescent Blade," the man called out. Then, in a flash of purple, the black blade appeared in his hand, and he ran at the putties. He dived in and started swinging the blade, slashing down the putties with ease. He jumped and kicked one in the head. As he landed, he slashed down more of the putties. "Should we help?" Amy asked. "I don't think he needs it," Dante gasped. The man then stood there, the blade extended. "Crescent Blade, Crescent Wave," the man yelled. The man then swung the blade in circular motions. The yellow energy waves flew at the putties. Several explosions erupted. As the smoke cleared, the putties were vanquished. The man stood there for a moment, and the crescent blade disappeared in a purple flash. "Who are you?" Dante asked. The man didn't respond, and just walked away, the Predazord disappearing in a flash of light. "Hey man, he asked you a question," Amy called out. The man stopped and turned around. "My name is Logan," the man replied. "Why did you help us?" Dante asked. "There's great evil, and it's growing. The only thing that can stop them are you guys, but you need some help," Logan told them. "Okay, so how come you can summon Wild Zords?" Amy asked. Logan then pulled out his black flute knife, which had 3 animal crystals in it. "I have this, which gives me the ability to summon the Wild Zords. And I have more of them," Logan told them. "Come back with us," Dante told him. Logan shook his head. What? Why not? Dante snapped. I'm here to help. I'm not here to make friends. Besides, you wouldn't want me on a team. Plus, I ain't a Power Ranger, Logan explained. But don't worry. Whenever they grow big, me and the Wild Zords are here to help, Logan told him. Then Logan turned around and walked away. Man, that dude is strange, Amy said. Logan stopped. One more thing, Logan said over his shoulder. Yeah? Dante said. Cerberus isn't a ranger. That coin is a fake. It's a phony. Hit it a few more times and it'll break and it'll lose that power. Don't kill him though. That's my job, Logan said. Then he carried on walking, leaving Dante and Amy rather confused. A few moments passed and Dante sat on a car inside. Amy looked at Dante and then started to walk away. Thank you for your help, Dante said. Amy stopped, then turned back to him. Yeah, no problem, Amy said with a grin. Then she walked away, her pace sped up to the point of almost jogging. Dante sighed. It had been a long day. He pressed his communicator and teleported away. Dante appeared in the apartment above the dojo. Hey, how are you doing? CJ asked. I've been better, Dante replied. So, I've been doing a lot of research. This Logan guy is legit. He has tapped into the Morphin Grid and he can access the Wild Zords, CJ told him. I've seen his weapon in that fleet before, Dante muttered. Yeah, I also checked on that. His weapon and flute I recognise too. They belong to Zenaki, CJ sighed. Of course, that's it, Dante said. What about our new ranger? CJ asked. Sweet girl. She's only 15, but she also met the Morphin Master, Dante told her. She didn't come back with you? CJ acknowledged. I let her go. It was a hard fight. It's been a long day. We'll see her again, I'm sure, Dante told her. So 4 rangers are now away to fight the big bad, CJ said. Whoever this Lucicon is, he's very strong. It's weird, Dante said. Yeah, we'll make notes when the team are awake, CJ said. Thank you, CJ. If it wasn't for you, those two wouldn't have been safe, Dante muttered. No problem, CJ grinned. In the land without time and space, William placed the silver chess piece with the crescent moon on top of it on the white chess piece side. It has finally arrived, William grinned. Now what, Master? The knight asked. Now, nothing. We have 3 monsters to get through. When the 3rd monster is defeated, we can take another step on our plan. William grinned. William stood and walked over to the table where his carving tools laid. There on the table were 4 different and very unique chess pieces. One was a crimson colour and resembled the Egyptian god Anubis. The second one was white and resembled the Egyptian god of Ra. The third one was white but had the Order of the Claw insignia carved into it, and the 4th one had not been sculpted yet. And soon the grander plan can start, William whispered. There you have it, guys. We have chapter 9. I hope you guys have enjoyed this chapter. Don't forget to follow and make sure you keep up to date with Power Rangers Foundations, and go check out some of my other fanfictions as well. Make sure you go follow everyone at the Zero to Hero Network. That is the Zero to Hero podcast with Billy and Jim. That is the Baker Rangers movie talks with Ben. The Rachel and Lee show with Rachel and Davina, and I am co-host slash regular on that one. Go check out Cosplay Dude 67 and his story time with him, where he does very similar stories with me. And go check out Nerds Through Comics with the Red Cornish Ranger, aka Mark, with his Doctor Who comic book readings. Now, of course, make sure you go check out Cosplay Dude 637. I cannot stress that one enough, as there are certain things happening in the background. Now, I have big plans coming up for this channel, so I hope you guys do enjoy and are enjoying my other stuff as well. Thank you all for watching. May the power protect you, and I'll see you guys soon.